Yes, judges.
Hello, Dan. How you doing? You
What are you
all
up to, bro?
I'm actually watching the football, mate. This Surfshark VPN is a lifesaver, mate. You can watch the football with a dodgy Wi-Fi, even at the Emirates when you've got a big crowd there and everything like that, watching the football. Unbelievable.
Easy to set up? Well, it must be if you've done it, mate.
Ah, very, very funny. Even abroad you can watch all your favourite programmes. It's like being at home, mate.
And that's exactly what you guys can do too. Click the link in the description for Surfshark VPN. Would Kanza get into the Arsenal and Manchester City first 11 in your opinion, Billy?
I think he probably could get into the Man City squad.
Who'd he play over at City?
John Stones.
Oh,
So Cons is going to do the John Stones role.
I think if he's coached in that way, he could do, yeah.
But I could say about anything. I could say if any player's coach should do anything, they could do it. Can he do it right now?
Probably not, no.
Right, so he wouldn't get over Stones, would he? You said the Stones is a better footballer, so therefore you think he's a better player.
Possibly. I think we're still going to go far in the Conference League, 2 games away from a final in that. We've had a lot of injuries as well. And 7 of our defenders have all started 10 Premier League games or more. 7 defenders. He said several times, we don't want an excuse culture.
If you get through against Lille, you have to win that Conference League, man. It would be poor if Villa go out of that. I think you'd deserve a cooking from Lawless if you went out now.
But yeah, like I said, I do still think we're going to win it. And like I said, we've already played 11 more games than Spurs. He said several times, we don't want an excuse culture. Our squad is up and down all over the place with injuries. He said several times, we don't want an excuse culture. And suspensions, he said several times, we don't want an excuse culture. That night in Athens when we win, that will live much, much longer in the memory for Aston Villa fans. I don't give a shit, we've got a trophy. We've got the trophy. It doesn't matter. We've got the trophy.
Feeling a little bit deflated, obviously extremely gutted. However, I'm not all surprised after that first leg.
They just look absolutely shattered. It's not an excuse. And with the amount of injuries we've had, it's not an excuse. No, it's been tough for us.
There's not much really to say. I don't think we were poor. We were very poor. It is what it is. Fair play, though, the better team over 2 legs.
We've got the trophy.
All season long, you've been waiting to, for some reason, put me in the mud.
I've been waiting for a guy like you to come and sort him out.
You've got your time. You've got your opportunity. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Because it's not going to happen next season. For Mr. Dan Lawless or Mr. Dan United, I'll still live in your head rent free because I know you can't stop thinking about me. It's not going to happen next season because we're not going to be on the same show.
That is the best one yet. That is the best one. Best one yet. Best one yet.
Lawless, you're on mute, by the way.
Still on mute, mate.
Still on mute.
Got him. We got him. Well done, Sam. Finally.
That was fantastic. Fair play.
That was a masterpiece, eh? We've got the cup. We've got the cup.
This isn't an excuse culture. This isn't an excuse culture.
And also, he's clipped that up very cleverly there. He's clipped
Billy, you've muddied yourself at the end. Oh, and as for Dan Lawless and Dan United, living in the heads rent free, won't be on the same show next year. Mate, we are.
Like I say, he's clipped that up very cleverly.
We're here.
Very cleverly. That's what I was saying.
That sounds like an excuse culture to me, Billy. That sounds like excuse culture. Blaming Sam's clipping. That sounds
correct.
That is.
Mate, it was glorious. I can't lie. I watched that and I thought,
He's
big
done
up
a
Sam.
good job.
He's done a very, very good job. Listen, Pete and LB are going to be with us. They're running a little bit late, but they are going to be with us, so they'll join us for to make 6 of us. Do you know what? Let's let Billy stew, man, because Lawless and Dan, you've taken a lot of stick from this guy, man. I can't lie. His chest has been out, then it's been in again. His chest has been out, then it's been in again. I've just been sitting there with a popcorn. But you 3, fair play. Lawless, we'll start with you. Does Billy deserve that cooking?
Oh, he deserves it. He deserves it. He has been, especially in the WhatsApp group, insufferable all season. And just the fact that it was a foregone conclusion that Villa were winning this, not just Billy, but a lot of people said that. A lot of people said, when we won it last season, well, anyone can win that. Anyone can win that trophy.
Fact.
Yeah, it's just easy. The fact of the matter is, West Ham made that competition look easy. We went unbeaten, smashing teams week in, week out. We made it look easier than it was. Villa thought they could just stroll in it, new boys to Europe, yeah? And they thought they could come and take
No one
out
said that it was going to be easy. No one said that it was going to be easy. I said here at the beginning, right at the beginning of the season, that it was going to be tough. I said that we was going to struggle against Hibs. How are you saying that?
No. This is so disingenuous, Billy. We've had multiple times on this show that you've said we're going to win the trophy. You said you were going to.
I think we will.
There's a clip there that says the trophy's out.
We should have won.
In 4K, mate. Trophy's out. It's there. The footage don't lie. The clips don't lie.
Lawless, can I ask you
when you clip it up very cleverly?
Can I ask you a question, Lawless? This is me not bantering. This is a genuine. Forget who I support. Forget who everyone supports. Did Aston Villa have a harder run than West Ham did in the Europa Conference League? Just putting that question out there.
I'm so glad you put that. I was ready for this. I was ready for this question, right? Because I knew if it weren't going to come from Billy, it would come from you. That, they had a harder run. By the way, Olympiakos, who knocked them out, let's not forget that we beat them earlier in the season. I'll just put that out this season. So they played Hibs, Hibernian.
Do you know what, Lawless? Just before you go on, I wasn't actually going to mention that because you can only play what's put in front of you. So it's not Villa's fault or West Ham's fault that you possibly had an easier run than Villa. You can't help that. So I was never going to bring that up, by the way, because you can only play what's put in front of you. So
I think it's a good question. I think it's a genuinely good question.
I think way too much is made of that. But yeah, they played Hibs twice. Then they played Legia Warsaw, which they lost to in the first game in the group stage. They lost to Legia Warsaw. Real top team. Then they narrowly beat Zrinski 1-0. Giants Zrinski, like everyone knows them. AZ Alkmaar, who we beat, they beat them. We beat them in our Conference League run. Then they got a 2-1 win over Legia. They drew away to Zrinski, by the way. Then they drew to the worst Ajax team of all time.
Lawless, I don't get this. They got Mr. European manager there, the European trophy man. How is this possible? Make it make sense to me, Lawless, please.
Yeah, I know. You would think that someone that is as the pedigree in Europe that he has, he wouldn't be dropping draws and losses to these caliber of teams. They played Lille. People kind of know Lille. We know Lille. We've heard of Lille. They won 2-1. Then they lost 2-1 and had to go through on penalties. And then ultimately playing Olympiakos. Now, people will look at that. We played Anderlecht. We started off Anderlecht. Oh, no, sorry. But we did play Anderlecht. They're no mugs. Anderlecht, we've all heard of Anderlecht, right? Produced some of the best footballers we've ever seen. Obviously, we played, Viborg, Bucharest, former European champions. We beat them. Silkeborg, okay, not world beaters, but we smashed them. We beat Anderlecht again. Silkeborg, beat them again. Bucharest, we beat them again away 3-0. And then round of 16, okay, Larnaca, it's a Cypriot team, not the biggest team in the world, but we did the job and we beat them. Ghent, we've all heard of Ghent. We beat them 4-1 away. We drew away and we beat them 4-1 at home, 5-2 on aggregate. Semi-finals, AZ Alkmaar, who Villa played. We beat them twice. and then we beat Fiorentina in the finals. We've all heard of Fiorentina. Now, whether you can say, well, their run was 10% harder than ours or whatever, we won most of our games. We didn't lose a single game. You can't look at those two runs that I've just said and go, "Oh, Villa's run. Oh, I can see why they didn't go on to win it and why West Ham went on to win theirs." When some of the teams we played are the same, they had some difficult teams that we didn't have in our game, in our run, and we had some difficult teams that they didn't have in their run. They had some nobodies, we had some nobodies. But the problem is that the crap teams that they played, they lost to or drew against. So is this a thing where now that discredits our win as if we haven't got one over them because they had a harder run? Bollocks. I tell you, absolute bollocks. This team with Unai Emery, with world-class Kanza and all those top quality players, Watkins, all of that, we don't have an excuse culture. Billy said it. We're not having it. So you tell me, Potts, them two runs I've read out, is that even worth looking at and going, Villa's was just so much harder, and that's why if West Ham had that run, they wouldn't have done it, or if they had West Ham's run, they would have won it. No,
I don't think you can look at it and say if West Ham had them, would they have won it or gone out. I don't think you can look at Villa saying if Villa had them, you can't do it because none of that matters, man. Aston Villa should have won this trophy. Sorry, Billy.
I'll be the first to say that myself. We should have done. As
you got
should
the manager,
Spurs, as should Leicester.
You got the players, you got the manager, you got the players, and I thought it was shocking, man. I can't lie. I thought I never even heard of this lad who kept banging him in against you. I've never heard of him.
6-2 they lost. 6-2,
that was embarrassing.
Man.
That was embarrassing, man. It's like they just crumbled. And that penalty miss, Douglas Luiz, as soon as he missed that, I was like, Villa are going out.
Mm-hmm.
Villa are going out. But I still can't sit there and say I was stunned by losing by that much, Bill. That was shocking, man. Dan United, I'll let you come in next. Lawless has had his time to cook. I suppose it's easy.
Can I just say, you all got to have more respect for our Conference League win now after seeing that, because you all thought
I had respect anyway, Lawless. I thought
you did. To be fair, LB, but
I have a lot of respect. I think it shows what happens when you see a team that really want to win the competition. And I think in the last round, I think you stumbled a bit against Lille. And I think it showed against Olympiakos. Look, we can sit here and talk about overtired. I know Emery doesn't use that as an excuse, but you seem to. But the fact of the matter is, on the 2 nights, you just weren't good enough. Simple as that. And I feel like you sitting here and saying that the footage has been doctored to make it look like a load of rubbish, Billy. You were found wanting, mate. You cannot come on this show and portray yourself as a team that should be it's already in the bag. You've got to have the respect for the teams that are in the competition. You've got to have the respect for the fans of these teams. Okay, you've got to have respect, and I feel like this has been coming a long time, because the word respect has just been something I feel like you've not had in the group chat. You've gone at us all the time. You know, whenever our teams lose and you fire at us, then on the show you come across as humble bumble, and it's just it can't go on.
Humble.
And you know, to see that video end with you saying that you live in our heads rent free. You don't live in our heads rent free, mate. It's a simple case of we just can't fathom what you're saying. We can't understand. I feel like every week we need an intervention. You know. It was cute for a while with the whole Kanza thing. That now has to be put to bed, by the way.
I completely agree. I've got my opinion, you've got your opinion, we're never going to agree on it.
Yeah, but mate,
you've been proved wrong.
You've been proved wrong.
I can a man can still have an opinion.
Wow. You didn't just die on that hill, Billy. Your corpse is rotting on that hill.
Whatever it may be, I've got an opinion and you've got your opinion. We're never going to agree on it. It's simple as.
I agree. I agree with that, mate. I agree with that.
should just be put to bed.
Yeah, I get it, but when everybody's telling you this, it's like talking to a heroin user who's telling us they haven't got a problem. We all know he's got a problem, but he's not willing to admit it, and that's why you need our help. And that's why I could have come on here today with violence, but I'm coming here today to tell you that we are all here for you, okay? We are all here for you. We all respect you. We all love you.
Next season you won't be.
Well, I will be, mate. I will be. I will be. I will be. I will be. And the thing is, mate, again, I get it. You're projecting there. You're hurting. You're hurting because world-class Kanza let you down. You're hurting because Emery, the best manager, let you down. You always strike out at people that love you, mate. And I get that. So I'll take it. But it has to stop now, okay? Because
I love how you're trying to make me feel like we've had this horrendous season. We're fourth in the Premier League. We've played some of the best football that the league has seen this season.
You were out of all the competitions very, very early in England. You've lost against Olympiakos. Yeah, okay. You've got fourth in the league. That is a great achievement, mate. That is a great, and I agree. But I kind of feel like this is like bullseye, and here's what you could have won. You see what I'm saying? I get it. Fourth's great. And
I do understand what you're saying with that bullseye analogy, but the if you talk about the economical, what's better for the club, Champions League is actually better for the club economically. The money we will get from the Champions League than winning the Europa League. Or the conference.
You getting that money, Billy? Is that going into your bank account? Are you going to be enjoying those finances?
No, of course. Which is why I've said several times I would have preferred to have won the Conference League than Champions League. But to not win the Conference League and ultimately end up in the Champions League, it's not a bad second place, is it?
Sometimes in life, Billy, sometimes in life you can try and tie your shoelaces, but ultimately if you end up with a double knot, you're going to fall over. And that's what's happened here, mate. Okay? Just learn from it, dust yourself down, and next season, who knows? Maybe you'll get somewhere, you'll get a cup, you'll win a cup. And you can't come at United for that because we've won a cup a lot more recently than you. Absolutely. We've been winning, we've won a lot of cups. So don't be coming, we all know United is shit, so don't try that one. This is where you need to go away this closed season now and have a real good think about what you want to achieve next season, mate. But as I said, we're all here for you. We love you, and we'll always be here, okay?
Oh, Danny's cooking, man. Yeah, listen, Bill, you've missed out on a massive, massive opportunity, man. I can't lie. Like you're in Champions League.
Of course we have. But
you have missed out.
I'm not gonna let Villa get into a semi-final, not reaching the final, and not ultimately winning it. I'm not gonna let that ruin this season. Those memories of having Ajax away. But
you're not releasing a fucking DVD for finish fourth, are you? Come on, now.
No, but we probably wouldn't have released the DVD for winning the Conference League either. But the memories that I've had this season of following Villa in Europe, they're going to stay with me no matter what.
Yes. And it ended in those
and
memories.
When we get to the Champions League, those memories of having those away days next year at hopefully Barcelona or Madrid, somewhere that I've always dreamed and never thought was probably attainable for my club to play at, to be there will just be incredible. So, yeah, of course, I'd have liked to have had that night in Athens. But at the end of the day, it didn't happen. And I'm not going to let this ruin what has been a phenomenal season for us. So, nice try, but it's not going to happen.
There's no nice try about it.
Let me bring LB in because LB's sitting there. He's got the popcorn out at the moment. He's chilling. Talk to me, man. Aston Villa disappointment.
I think people need to realise Europe is difficult. And I think because people see it as the third tier competition, they just assume that it's easy. But it's not. Europe is Europe. Europe is difficult. No matter what tier you're in, whether Champions League, Europa League, Conference, it's hard. And the better team doesn't always win. That's just, you need a little bit of luck. Sometimes naivety can creep in. Certainly in the case of Aston Villa, I think that was the case. And I think that is why you have to give West Ham the respect. And I did feel last year a lot of people didn't give West Ham the respect that they deserve because it was the third tier competition and people just thought it was a load of shite. And it's difficult to win. It is. I think Aston Villa will be gutted that they didn't win it, because that was a serious opportunity to win a trophy, a European trophy as well. And next season, you know, are they going to have the squad to compete in the Champions League, the Premier League, and the domestic cups? We've seen with Newcastle, they struggled with the injuries, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, listen, with Aston Villa, I think they've had a great season if they finish in the top 4, which is highly likely. But I do think that they will be a little bit disappointed that they've not won anything, man, because the way they've played, I mean, the way they played against us at Villa Park, I've not seen a team do that to City for a long time. So it would have been nice for Villa to have got a trophy, but yeah, I mean, I don't know whether it's a bit of naivety. You know, there are moments in the season I look at and think, there are a few red flags, only a few, and I think it's fair. The opportunity to go top of the table when they played Sheffield United at home, drew, that was disappointing. To get battered on aggregate in the semi-final, the Conference League, that was disappointing. And there's probably a couple of others that Billy can probably,
Both
mention.
games against Man United.
Yeah, there you go.
2-0 up. 2-0 up
Yeah,
against Man
there you
United.
go. So I think Unai Emery has to address that. You know, is there a little bit of a weak spine? Do they need to get like a few more pros in there that have won trophies, that when they've got like a big occasion, you know, they're like, what you know, just calm everyone down a little bit. I don't know if they need to step.
Where
in the
was
market.
Martinez? He won the World Cup, and
Yeah, but he's a goalkeeper. I think you need I think you're looking at a midfielder. You know what I mean? Douglas Luiz, like, what's he won in his career? Ramsey, what's he won? John McGinn, what's he won?
Ramsey's been out for all the season.
Well,
LB, don't be careful saying that, mate. Douglas Luiz is a £120 million player, so just be careful the way you're saying that, please.
Well, he might be £120 million player to Billy, but he's still not won anything. So that's the point. I think if I was Unai Emery, I think I would be prioritising experience. And when I say experience, players that have won stuff. Players that have won silverware, and that when the pressure's on, can just calm everyone down, because it looks to me like Aston Villa have got a great team, a great bunch of players, great manager, but when the pressure was on a number of occasions, they faltered. So yeah, I think the transfer window, I think that's what they should look at. Like when we got Kovacic, for example, 25 million. I think they need to look at those sort of players. You have to, and the thing is, these players are not that expensive. If you get players at like 29, 30, 31 coming to the end of their career, they're not actually that expensive. So I think that's what Villa need. Villa don't need this 24-year-old superstar. They need like experienced players that have won stuff.
Someone like, and you may laugh at me, but Ashley Young, who we had last season, be in the dressing room. He left at the end of the season, and we didn't decide to renew his contract. But someone like that, I agree, LB, in the dressing room to calm these players down would have been. His experience speaks for itself, doesn't it? So
would you take Jordan Henderson?
Probably not. No. So I understand the suggestion, but I think we've given him too much stick when we played against Ajax. To be honest,
we've got some trophy-winning players we could sell. You know what I mean? You can go. We've got some we don't want anymore. Ogbonna, you can have Ogbonna.
Left back Cresswell.
Creswell, you know, he's a bit closer to Liverpool. He's won a trophy. Yeah, West Ham, we'll talk a deal. Claret and blue, mate. You know, because that's what you need.
Look, we already shafted you with Danny Ings. We're not getting the. We're not getting
now you owe us one back. In fact, Danny Ings, was he in? Yeah, he got the Conference League, didn't he? When did we sign him?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was there last season.
He was
have him back as a trophy winner. There you go. But the thing is, Billy, if think about it like this, like, because you're like, do you know what? We're still in the Champions League next season, and great, you're going to have a few away days, lovely. But if you can't even get to the final of the Conference League, if you're struggling against the likes of Warsaw, Olympiakos, and Zagorzinski, yeah, what makes you think that you're gonna not just get battered on a regular in the Champions League? I mean, wow.